Hey everybody, it's Tammy Van Hollander, and I am so excited to be here with my buddy Dorothy, who is a play therapist, a advanced nurtured heart approach trainer. And Dorothy really wanted to reach out for the YouTube channel as well as for the presentation on really looking at the importance of the nurtured heart approach, play therapy, and attachment-based interventions. And I really wanted to have you on today for your amazing work and your development of core attachment therapy.
Thank you, Tammy. And I feel real honored to do this because Nurtured Heart Approach has been near and dear to my heart since 2008. And play therapy has been with me since 1985, if you can believe that. So as I was coming up the ranks as a play therapist and having many children in the foster care system and being adopted, the interventions I knew then just wasn't working. It wasn't helping the children move forward and feeling safe and secure. So I did a lot of research and tweaking, and I grabbed things from developmental play therapy from Viola Brody, and I grabbed things from therapy, therapeutic
Derapelian.
play therapy. Yeah, Theraplay, thank you for that. I'd always keep slipping my mind because I think it's supposed to be longer than it is. So Theraplay, and I'm looking at it saying, you know, attachment is a natural thing, but it's also developmental. It starts at birth and it goes through 36 months. And there are phases in the attachment development. And I thought, if we're going to help these children heal, we have to start right from the basic part, from day one. When they come out of the womb, they need that loving, what I call the loving cradle, and that eye-to-eye contact. And it grows from there. So I took all the ideas and things from developmental play therapy and Theraplay and said, let's put them in a developmental sequence that replicates what the newborn and toddler go through in their attachment development. And as I was doing that, I also discovered the Nurtured Heart Approach. I went to Nashua, New Hampshire, one beautiful day in May, and went to a day-long training with Howard Glasser. And as I'm listening to him talk about the wonderful stands of the Nurture Heart Approach, I'm thinking, you know, this guy is onto something, and it's something powerful. So then I had the attachment games on one hand, and then I had the Nurture Heart Approach on the other hand, and it still took a while before I said, you know what, wait a minute, we've got to put the two together. So that's what core attachment therapy is a it's a two-component process. The Nurtured Heart Approach is the first part, and the attachment games is component 2. And I combine them, not that you do component 1 until it's done, and then you do component 2 until it's done. They're interwoven. So we start out with a lullaby and feeding the child, and then we start with the first game, and then we end, and this is where I pull in the Nurtured Heart Approach, we end with what we call greatness stories. And we know children love to hear stories about themselves when they were growing up. So, but when we have adopted children who we adopted when they were older, we don't have those baby stories. So what I've chosen to do in the core attachment therapy process is talk about, like for the day they were born, instead of saying the day they were born, it's the day I first met you. And then the next set of games where we go from the 3 to 4 months to 6 months, we talk about what happened 6 months after you came into my life and writing the stories from there. But it's also important when we're going through that process, children get emotionally young. You can see them get smaller, and you can see them wanting that deep emotional connection as they go through the process with their new parent. So we want them to get old, get back to where their here and now is. So then we end with the greatness stories of the week, what they did during the week that made their parents proud and pleased them very much. And I use the word proud and pleased because children really want to know what pleases their parents. It is what drives them. And children who have had fractured attachments, right now they see any type of attachment as threatening because that person can be taken away at any moment. So that's what we talk about, pleasing and enjoying. And a rich, secure attachment is one that we enjoy. So that's why we pull in those words. So then, as it's a progressive process, and it can go anywhere from a 9-week process to even longer. There are 9 attachment games with transition games between each phase. There are 3 phases: the autistic phase, the separation phase, and the individuation phase. So between those, we have transition games to go from the autistic phase to the separation phase, and the separation phase to the individuation phase. And then, because of Tammy, this person right here, and Janet Courtney, and their inspiration with Casey's Greatness Wings and the backstories, I created a finale to the process. Because after we went through this very, very intimate process, then it was done. So I said, wait a minute, it's not finished yet. So seeing Tammy's greatness, Casey's greatness stories, and Janet Courtney's Magic Rainbow.
Yeah, the kinesthetic storytelling.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, I said, there is my finale. And it is amazing to see the children when they have their story of their life drawn on their back. It's like they're just being downloaded this information of safety and security.
And Dorothy, I want to,
That's
what I love so much about what you did and regarding your books and all these pieces, because this is all the stuff that I love, the attachment pieces and the nurtured heart pieces, but even with the kinesthetic storytelling, I love how when you do it as a therapist in your office and church, teaching the parents how to do it, is that they're doing it in front of a mirror so they could see the face, because normally when we're doing the backstory you can't see the face, but how you have them in front of a mirror, I think that is so beautiful, that they actually can make that eye contact as well as that full multi-sensory experience. So I learned that part from you and started
thank you.
in front of a mirror for from your advice that I just loved, and it just notched it up, shall we say, right?
It does notch it up, doesn't it?
So there are so many beautiful things about core attachment therapy, and you have a book for children, you have a book for therapists.
Child's book, Letting Us Into Your Heart. The therapist book, Core Attachment Therapy. And then for the parents, so they can take this home and do the games at home, Your Love is Hope. Because oftentimes parents will get offended thinking, my child is attached to me, but it's their love that's going to secure the attachment and repair the deficits. And it is journal entries too, so they can keep the greatness stories.
Beautiful.
And then they can share this with their child when they grow older. So it's like a child's baby book that they didn't get to have because they're not with their new family.
So beautiful. And how can people get your books and find out more about core attachment therapy?
I have my website, which is, of course, www.coreattachmenttherapy.com. There's a Facebook page as well, and Twitter. And my books are available on my website, but they're also available on Amazon.
Okay, Dorothy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tammy.
Today, people can learn so much of this, and the work that you're doing is so important and so beautiful.
Thank you, Tammy. Yes.
So be well. Thank you.
Same to you. Thank you for this opportunity.